Hey guys, so I had a couple of requests to do like an overall favorites video, and I had a couple of requests to do a like starter kit, like if you're getting into makeup, the kind of stuff that you should have. So I thought I would kind of combine them in one, and I'm going to tell you my favorites, but also what things you should really have in your basic kit. So this is kind of like my basic essentials of makeup. My first basic essential is my face brush. Now, mine is from Hannah K Cosmetics, and you can find these at hannahkcosmetics.com. They're really reasonably priced. I got most of mine from a Costco brush set that they did during the holidays. So I use them a lot, and people always ask me, like, where did you get those? And I didn't even realize that you could buy them online for a while, but now I realize that you can. You can buy them off their website, and they're really quality brushes, and they're really good prices, and I really like them. They're like, this one is so soft, and it works great as my overall face brush, and I've been using it forever. So I would definitely recommend getting a face brush. You don't have to get an expensive one. You can get, I know Revlon's new brush, not like their regular brushes, but they have like a new professional brush line that you can find in the drugstore. Those brushes are supposed to be great. So check those out if you need an all-over face brush. But you really are going to need a big fluffy brush, whether it's to use to set your face, like, or just to powder your face, or to do like bronzer. At some point you're going to need a big fluffy brush. So that's a definite must-have. My second definite must-have, this is less than, well, I shouldn't call it a definite must-have, but this is my Kabuki brush. It's from Sugar Cosmetics. It's the best Kabuki brush I've ever found. It's so soft. It's really dense. I've had it for years, and I keep on trying to replace it. I don't know why, but just because I figure there's got to be something else better, because I've had this for so long, and it was like $18, which is really reasonable for a Kabuki brush. But nope, I really, really, really like this. So get a Kabuki brush. It's perfect for if you ever use mineral foundation or bronzer. You can use it for blush. You can use it for shimmer. You can use it on your body for like contouring or anything like that. It's fabulous. I would definitely recommend getting a Kabuki brush. Then these two brushes are from Hannah K Cosmetics. One of them is an angled brush, which I use for contouring. You can also use this for blush. And the other one is a very small blush brush, which I use specifically for fallout under the eye and for setting my eye with under eye like translucent powder. So I think having a small fluffy face brush is great for detail work like that. You can use this for blush too. So I'd recommend having two of those. Whether you want two that are just blush or two that are angled, it doesn't really matter. It's your personal preference, and it's really good to have one that you use for color and one that you use for like your face powder type stuff. Also, my favorite foundation brush. This is Cargo's number 20. It's a fabulous foundation brush. It's super dense. I've had this one for years now, and it's awesome. I really would never replace it. And I just really like it. It applies foundation beautifully to my face, and it's a really high quality brush, will last you a long time. Again, you can use any foundation brush that you want, but I would recommend investing in like a nicer one, especially if you like applying foundation with a brush. If you don't, if you like to use your fingers or sponge, skip this, don't worry about it. Next, I'm going to go into my eye brushes. The first one, which I really use every day, is my Cargo number 8. Now this is a really unique brush. I don't know a comparable one in MAC. I'm not saying there isn't one, I just don't know the number if there is. But this one I absolutely love. It's soft, it's dense, it's wide. I use it as a highlight, and then I also call this my eraser brush because I take it on the edge and I erase any color that's come down. It really pulls color with it. It's just a great like big paddle brush. I just love this brush, and I would definitely consider this to be like a must-have in my kit. You know, if you have a different way of doing that, like you like to use Q-tips and stuff, you can, but I think this is like a really, really useful tool. The next three are all MAC brushes, which you've probably heard of all of them. The first one is the MAC 242. My number has like worn off practically, but it's a flat shader brush. It's great for pigments, for packing a lot of color on the lid. You can pick up a ton of color and then press it into the lid, and it really does a fabulous job. So it's great for wet or dry pigments. The next is the 239 from MAC. It's a fluffy shader brush, and this is great for covering like your lid or any large area with color, even a small area. It's just a fabulous brush. If you could only get one eyeshadow brush, I would recommend the 239 because it is really versatile. I just like the 242 for its control and because I do use a lot of pigments and it's really great for pigments. Then the next one, which I use every day, is my 217. I actually have two of these, but there are the most fabulous brushes for crease work, for blending. I think it's a really unique brush, and MAC is the only one like it that I have found that I really enjoy using. So hugely, hugely recommend the 217. If you can, I would definitely say to go for it because it's an investment and it will make your makeup look so much better. And that's why I'm starting with brushes, is brushes are so important. They definitely make your makeup look just times better. So I'm trying to go really fast. Okay, so the next two are like angled brushes. One of them is Cargo's number 9, which is an angled synthetic brush that I use for my brows. My favorite synthetic brush. It's really controlled. I've had it for a long time and it's still in really, really good shape, and I just love it. I love this really long handle. It's just a fabulous brush. So if you're doing your brows with powder at any point, or if you just want a great liner brush, you can use this for liner too. I use this one for liner, which is my Clinique eye definer, quite often, and that's another great option for an angled brush. So try to get an angled brush, whether it be for your brows or for any sort of gel or shadow liner that you're going to be using, cream liner. And the next eye one is my blending brush. Now, MAC makes a similar one. I think it's the 224, I believe. Mine is from Estee Lauder. It's 11E, and it's really similar. Basically, a blending brush makes all the difference in the world. You can use any sort of fluffy eyeshadow brush. This one I got at the drugstore by like Mrs. Makeup. Whatever, you know, it's all about your technique. I just find it's a lot easier with an actual blending brush because, you know, it's designed for that. You really get really quick results. And sometimes with a fluffy eyeshadow brush, you can kind of over blend. But, you know, if you don't have the money to go out and spend on like an Estee Lauder blending brush or a MAC blending brush, you know, try it first with just any fluffy eyeshadow brush that you have around, but really blending is so important and it will make any makeup look really professional and polished. And I forgot to mention this with my face, but this is my fan brush. I mention it a lot in my videos. It's Estee Lauder's 6F finishing, and it's a dual fiber, so it has the synthetic on the top and then natural like on the bottom, and sorry, my dog just shook. But it gives you a really, really nice application. So a blush, you can wipe out fallout, you can do bronzer, you can do highlighting. I love this brush. Okay, and next I'm going to go into my eye makeup because I didn't do lips. I have one cheek and a couple face. So my eye is my Stila Smudge Pot. Perfect black gel liner. Perfect. Amazing. Doesn't go anywhere. Favorite. I've tried a lot of them. This is my favorite. So I would definitely recommend that. My mascara, Sexy Curves by Rimmel. Cheap. You can get it at the drugstore. Tons of volume, really dark black. Get it in the extreme black, and it's fabulous. I'm in love with this. I use this every day now. And you really, 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 really need a primer for your eyes. This one is Clinique Touch Base in Canvas Light. I know that there are tons out there. If you're looking for one at the drugstore, there's L'Oreal Decrease. And, you know, I know there's other ones that you can find at the drugstore if you like to use, go to a drugstore that has NYX products. They carry like these pencils, and you can use those. You can use cream eyeshadows like the ones from Revlon as bases. The idea is you just want a barrier between, you want something that your eyeshadow can stick to. And if you use something that's designed for that, you're going to get a lot less creasing. Cream eyeshadows don't always work well as bases, but they're better than nothing. So, you know, figure out what works for you. I would say if you can, go with one that's designed to be an eyeshadow base, something like this, Clinique Touch Base, Urban Decay Primer Potion, Too Faced Shadow Insurance, L'Oreal Decrease is a great, cheaper option. So that's so important to your makeup application, so important. When I started using like primer, that's when everything clicked for me. So honestly, if you're frustrated and you're like, why aren't my colors showing up? Why don't they stay? It's like painting on a canvas with it just changes everything about your makeup application. And I'm not going to go into foundations or anything like that because I think it really depends on your skin type. Just, you know, have a foundation around. And, oh, I was going to say, with eyeshadows, my go-to that I would recommend if you're starting a kit are definitely the Coastal Scents palettes. I know, like, you know, some people don't like Coastal Scents. There's a lot of drama. If you don't, there's another site, OralineBeauty.com, that sells a palette that is an 88 palette, just like the Coastal Scents one. But it has slightly different colors, but it's all different rainbow colors, just like these. I think it's probably made by the same manufacturer at some point or something, but they sell it for even cheaper. Their minimum is a $50 purchase minimum for shipment, so you have to buy $50, but that goes really fast, and you could get, they have tons of other great palettes on there too. So if you have a problem with Coastal Scents, check out the other site. I'm not saying I have a problem with Coastal Scents, I just know some people do, and, you know, check out Oraline Beauty if you have a problem with Coastal Scents. And, they're just really, really fabulously pigmented, and you have such a wide variety of colors that you really are prepared to do any look that you want. So even though I didn't do my makeup today using this palette, if I go in here, I bet you I could find colors like next to here, like I use some of this red, some of this pink, that will go and totally work for applying this. And my palette just broke a little bit. I don't know what just happened. But, oh well. Yeah, so I would definitely recommend like a palette like that because you'll get a better selection for less price. And if you're just starting out, or if you're somebody who's been doing it a long time, I love having these palettes on hand because when I need a color and I'm like, I don't know if they have that color, I just whip this out and it's in here. And I have the shimmer and the matte one, and if you're gonna just get one, I would get the matte, unless you really like shimmer, and then go for the shimmer. But I really recommend just the matte one because it's not, it's more wearable. Like the shimmer, sometimes shimmer can be a lot for daytime, or, you know, if you have matte colors, you can always throw like a shimmery highlight over it to give it more shimmer, but you can't take it off. So yeah. Then I was just gonna quickly go over my eyebrow pencil that I love. Is my Clinique Super Fine Line for brows. I also think when I started doing my brows, it really brought my makeup together. I used to not really like understand how important brows were to a face. They're so important. So, you know, if you're just getting into makeup, really consider doing your brows. This is my favorite one from Clinique. It's really fine. It's just twists up, and I use it in dark brown, or deep brown, sorry, but you know, pick a color that matches you within a couple shades of your hair, but not darker than your hair. If you're blonde, you can go darker a little bit, but try to keep it near your hair color. It'll look more natural. And my favorite pencil eyeliner ever is Stila's Kajal in Onyx, which is just a really dark black. Whew. And even though it's really soft, this will last you a long time because it's so pigmented, you do not have to use much. I like to use it with a brush just because if I apply it on, it's just like so pigmented and heavy, I just don't really need that much. So, I mean, you can apply it straight on, but, you know, whatever you prefer. And, yeah, so those are my basic go-tos. Sorry this video was so long. If you guys have any other questions or things I left out, I didn't include like a lot of skin stuff, but I just thought, you know, I'll focus more on the eyes and stuff like that. So at a later, because I've already done my favorite blushes and bronzers, and yeah, so that's pretty much my video. And if you guys have any questions, let me know, and I'll talk to you all soon. Bye!